breaking news, breaking news. Yo, check it out. I'm gonna break this down like no other have broke this down. This is about Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty. We talking about two men that started from the same place and one elevated above the other and the other just don't get it. So he pulls an AK-47, calls a meeting, barricades the door, putting Draco up to his CEO's head. This is real life. You would think this was a movie script. And that's on Everything I Love. You would think this was a movie script. And then he signs the papers. And that was months ago. Everybody think it's over. And then now they dropped the news bulletin saying that he's been charged for kidnapping and forcing the CEO to sign over his prized possession, which is himself. Then we're going to break down how Pooh Shiesty got to where he's at towards Gucci Mane when the relationship was so fire. Because don't forget, Big Scar's passing. Shiesty had to deal with that in a prison cell. I had to deal with my brother getting two to the head and me seeing his pictures, big, beautiful 8x10s with my favorite color green, brain matter, laid out in front of me while I was in the cell. So I know where Shiesty's at. And I was where Gucci's at. Because those are the ones, no disrespect to Gucci, just keeping it real from a street perspective, those are the ones that turn against you. Those are the ones that turn against you for whatever reason. And I'm just keeping it real, man. Let's get this party started. I'm about to get too emotional, man. All right. All right, let me take it to the jail cell, right? I was gonna take it to Pooh Shiesty, flashing the money and all that, you know, but I wanted to take it to the jail cell because this is where it's at right now. It's in the jail cell. Pooh Shiesty got released from one of these joints. He hit the streets running. He dropped first day out. It was banging. You know, Gucci made another bag of money. Pooh Shiesty coming home. Gucci was supposed to hit him. They said he made like 25 million. Let's take that number if that was the number. We don't know. He made 25 million. He said at least gave Lil Pooh Shiesty at least 5-10 million out of that. At least 5. Y'all put in the comments if y'all agree with that or not. You know, you done made 24 million allegedly. A man come home and you don't hit him off with 5 million. You tell him we got to renegotiate a contract in order for you to get some money, and I've been eating while you've been in prison. Do you know how that sits with a man from the street? Now Shiesty looking at it like Gucci trying to take advantage of him. He must think I'm a little trigger. He don't know I was in Victorville with gangsters and he playing these games with me? Oh, no. But this can't be, what? Not my man? I mean, when I was out there, we was the best at everything. He done signed me, my cousin Scar. But then my cousin Scar loses his life. My release date coming up. I'm sitting in the cell. I try and go to the funeral. They tell me no. My heart dropped. And then I hear that Gucci Mane gonna pay for it. And then I feel great. I start cheering. All right? Gucci stepping up. All right. One up. Relax, y'all. Relax. You know, so Gucci stepping up is what he's thinking. And then he gets another phone call. Yo, Gucci blocked us. What? Gucci blocked us? Oh, man, I'm gonna, what? No, let me go call him. I'll call you right back. And he hang up the prison phone and he called right back. Bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? You know, the number's been disconnected or something. I know he didn't play me like that. Then he called back and he said, yo, he blocked me too. And then he said, yo, I just got a call from him. He want the chain back. He want the chain back. Hold up. He wouldn't pay for the funeral. He blocked me. Now he want the chain back. Ah, let me go try to call him again. I'll call you right back. So Lil Shiesty hang the phone up, call it right back, call it right back, call it right back. About 3-4 times. Then he go back, he call home. He said, yo, I'm going to dish. I know he didn't do us like that. Now, all of this is bottled up in him. And then he's coming home and they didn't get a chance to talk. And that's the first thing Gucci should have did was talk to him. Before Shiesty's woman even said a word to him, Gucci should have been there to pull him aside. And they go on a ride man to man and he let him know what he has came home to. Because his finances, and I know a lot of you civilians might not understand that, but his finances is superior to everything, including his relationship. Because he needs the finances to maintain the relationship. So y'all can say, oh, we can live in a cardboard box. Would you rather live in a cardboard box or what he was supposed to get from $24 million after sitting in prison for a couple of years? Let's talk for real. But Shiesty got all this bottled up in him. But then on the other side, you got Gucci. Man, from day one when he signed him, oh, I got this young trigger good. You know, I got the masters, I got everything, I got him good. You know? And then as it's going on, everything is going good. And while it's going good, then he turns around and he says, hold up. Man, he making all this money, I'm making all this money. Then Pooh Shiesty get caught up. And he says, bet, now he can't watch the money. Now I can do what I gotta do. I'm gonna make sure he get his money, but he's not gonna realize how much money I'm getting and how much power I own over him and his brand and his entity. I'm just keeping it 100, you know? And Gucci's like, yeah, he signed the contract. Keisha's like, yeah, he signed it, right? Well, that's all that matters. What you thinking about? Tighten up. This is business. So now they looking at it like it's business. They got one. But they got the wrong one. Gucci continued to smile and lace his pockets, fulfill his dreams. He hit the Billboard top 200 down to like number 3 right off the rip with the first album. Ka-ching. So Gucci said, oh man. And then Keisha's like, yeah, we got him. You know? And then he goes to prison. And while he's in prison, his cousin died, but they making so much off of him, they don't even want to put their energy into the cousin. They comfortable with the Shiesty money. So they don't even want to look no further. But Big Scar, he's sitting on the sideline, he doing what he got to do, and he overdoses. And then now they overdose, Keisha said, oh, my condolences. And Gucci said, yeah, I'm going to pay for the funeral. She said, nah, you don't have to pay for the funeral. That's on them. That's on the family. And Gucci's like, nah, but it's the honorable thing to do, Keish. And she's like, nah, we ain't taking out of this budget. And we know how strong a Jamaican woman is. So Gucci, man, went with it. He you know, let her do what she got to do. And he said, all right, well, you know, I'm going to slide and pay half without letting her know. And then next thing you know, it turned into nothing or half or whatever it turned into. And the family got mad. They let Shiesty know. Shiesty in prison, he furious. And Gucci, man, thinking he in prison. Who cares if he furious? What could he do? Right now, I'm eating for the moment because that's how businessmen think, for the moment. That's how they catapult into their future for thinking for the moment. So that's where Gucci Man is at. But he wasn't thinking that Pooh Shiesty gonna come home one day. And that one day is soon. And then Gucci Man asked for the chain back because he's mad because the way they talking to him when he told him that Keisha said he can't pay for the funeral. I mean, this is my speculation. I mean, I might be wrong. It ain't to disrespect him. I just want to give y'all some good content, how the street mentality work and how the business mentality work. And it's not to diss either one because I ran in both. So he's sitting there, he in his body now and said, I want my chain back. Yeah, I mean, I want my chain back. I used to like, want your chain back? What kind of girl shit is that? You gave that to me. What, I got to go back to grade school and call you a Indian giver? We don't do that. So Shiesty's furious and Gucci Man is living life. He's not thinking of none of that. And then out of nowhere, Pooh Shiesty come home, drop his music, do his thing. Gucci Man gets the money, gives him the thing, and Shiesty tells him, man, yo, it's time for us to sit down and talk. So Gucci Man come, he brings a cameraman. He think they're going to have good footage, good content. He meeting up with Pooh Shiesty for the first time. But yo, my dog, you should have did that from the first time he came home out that prison cell from behind me. From he walked out these doors, you should have been at that gate when you talk about $24 million. If anybody disagree, put in the comment. If you agree, put in the comment. Give me an emoji if you agree. Don't forget to hit the like button, all right? Don't forget the like button and cop the book of Rowan Harlem, man. This tell you about my life right here. Crazy. It's at rowanharlem.com. All right? Make sure you check it out. I'll put the link in the bottom. But Gucci Man is looking at it like a straight business. Shiesty looking at it like a gangster. I'm not going for that. How you going to play me like that? So then now, when they go to the meeting, Shiesty's already riled up from his thoughts, emotions, his pride, his ego, and everything from in this cage behind me. And now he comes home and he finally sees Gucci Man. And the craziest part is he got a phone call from his parole officer saying, you ain't where you're supposed to be at. You need to go where you're supposed to be at. Now, Shiesty, if that ain't a warning, God had your parole officer call while you was in the middle of committing a crime that could take your freedom for the rest of your life, and you didn't listen to the blessing. And that's why we have to comprehend more when we listen to what someone has to say. Because if you listened to your parole officer, you would have heard her telling you, you not where you supposed to be. Snap out of it. But nah, he said, yo, y'all get out, let me talk to her. They get out. No, I'm around the corner, I'm getting ready to go back. No, you not. Oh, yes, I am. I'm on the way back now. Damn, click, we gotta hurry up. Yo, y'all come in here, give me the black bag. Yo, you get the door. Yo, sign the contract. Whoa, what? And he's like, yo, I said sign the contract. Hurry up, I gotta go back because my PO is waiting on me. He's like, your PO is waiting on you. Why are you doing this? What are you, nuts? This is what Gucci's thinking from a business man point of view. Yo, are you nuts? You could imagine what went through Gucci's mind when he upped the Draco on him, right? Are you nuts? And Pooh Shiesty, guess what's going through his mind? Oh, if this nigga play me, I'm going to just blow his head off. I'm tired of this. I'm going to do this for Big Scar. That's how we think from the street. None of this is disrespect them. I'm just telling you how, the situations that I was in, similar to that, and my comrades that was in, that I was close with, that they expressed these thoughts and feelings and emotions. So it's not to disrespect these two men because, Shiesty, my man. I ain't gonna lie, I got him in my playlist. I ain't got Gucci in my playlist. I ain't even heard that much of Gucci joints. I'm gonna keep it 100. But I ain't got nothing against none of them. But as a rapper and what I got on my playlist, I did was Pooh Shiesty, man. Shiesty living that life. Shiesty, calm down, son. Calm down. Right now, he locked up for a parole violation. That's gonna hold him right there. So even if he get bail, he can't get out on that because he has a parole violation. So he's stuck. That's why they're not worrying about no bail hearing with him, because he ain't go nowhere. He was already on an ankle monitor, committing a federal crime. Parole officer called him, felt the inkling because they really cared about him and wanted him to win. And he lies and say he ain't where he's supposed to be at, and then speed the crime up and threw the Draco in his face. Let's get back to where we was at, because we riding. Right? So now, Gucci Man thinking this dude nuts, man. And Pooh Shiesty said, man, he trying to play me. Since we're two different worlds, and this is where ego come in, and ego always crash out and make a bad decision. That's why you're not supposed to move by your pride or your ego. Be motivated by your instinct and desire to survive. And then we know women is motivated by their feelings and emotions. That's why they get mad, say things they don't mean, and then tomorrow they come back and say, oh, my bad. You know, and then get real touchy-feely emotional, you know? But we're going to get back to this. Gucci Man turned around now, and, you know, he goes home after he get robbed, and he tells Keisha what happened, and Keisha tells him, yo, we have to call the police, man. What y'all do? And Gucci like, nah, we can't call the police. I'm Gucci Man. And she's like, man, I don't care about no Gucci Man. You know Gucci Man no more right now. You're a businessman. And Gucci like, nah. I'm always going to be Gucci. Even though I'm wearing flip-flops. My people love me. And she like, who you love more, your people or your family? Because, you know, if you sit there and play them games with that boy, you know, so y'all go jail. And if you go jail, man, now at the time with them more. So remember, you go on a big fat boy, I know you come out good, looking good and everything nice. I know y'all tell me, say you want to go back to jail and play them street game there. You must be out your blood, clean mine. That's what Keisha said to him, man. So Gucci sitting there, he thinking, damn, she did right, but she did wrong for getting in my business, because I'm Gucci Man. And then he came to the ultimate conclusion. Why do you think he did that? Because he loved a dog. He just let her ruin his whole career instead of letting this play out. We know that he had to give a statement because it's in that criminal complaint, and the Department of Justice is not putting the statement in there because, you know, someone else said it. They said that, you know, the CEO felt, you know, distress. Only one could say they felt distress is the CEO, whoever that is, whether it's RD or not. Just, you know, speaking the facts of the case. So this is not to disrespect them. But the whole case rests on RD in the complaint. RD in the complaint said he felt distress, and he identified the young man in the mask as Pooh Shiesty. I don't believe Gucci Man did that on his own. And I do believe, you know, he loved a dog. He loved her. And she's leading him down a righteous path of being a civilian. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a choice that Gucci Man have to make to show the world that he elevated and he's leaving all that behind, and he don't care what labels they put on him. His job and his ultimate goal is to take care of his family and be out here with his family by any means necessary. That means if saying that he upped the Draco on me to interrupt my business, to stop my financial cash flow to my family and my future generation, now we're enemies, and now I'm going to use the tools and weapons that's allowed it to me, which is the pen, the paper, the courtroom, the judge. Remember that. So that's where Gucci's at right now. He has to make that choice. Or do he want to keep it gangster and say, man, F all that, he put a Draco to my face. I got to see this. This is the choice that Gucci Man have to make. He put a Draco in my face. And Keisha's like, yeah, if you're picking them on your family for worry about. but he put a Draco in my face. You know, you have too much to lose, will come from too far, you know, try to go back to jail again. But he put a Draco in my face. Boys, you're stupid. Me, I gonna leave if you start talking like that. Stop talking like you're stupid and come here and give me a hug. And he went over there and he put his head on the chest. And he said, okay, baby, you right. Because he's elevating. But now you can't elevate and still be Gucci man. You got to be this new man that Keisha's helping you create, and we know that, you know, and that's a wonderful thing. Let me say that for the record. Don't think I'm trying to diss him, you know, but you can't then step on this side and say, I'm Gucci man, I'll never go to the police. I see people say when I put up the tape, that was an old tape. Yeah, but that's still how you felt. Now we need to hear from you how you feel today, to justify how they move forward with you tomorrow. And to be honest, Gucci man, they not going to give a crap if you tell or not. It's just going to be a blow to your ego. They're not going to care. They don't still listen to your music. They're going to still love you. But you have to listen to yourself. That's what it's like when someone testify against someone. They have to live with themselves. So that's why I don't worry about who told and all that, even though I might speak on the rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public trolls. You know, I can't stand them as far as I can see them, smell them. Just nasty, nasty creatures. You know, but I know who they are and I know that God created everything. Just keep them over there and keep me over here. And that's how it is. And that's what happened with this situation. Gucci man was here. He elevated up here. He had to come back down here to deal with Pooh Shiesty to get what the streets wanted as business. But at the same time, he should have explained to him the business, then he wouldn't have felt like he cheated him or he owed him. And I don't know if he do or he don't. That's not my business. I'm just using this, you know, for a tutorial for y'all to understand. So Pooh Shiesty now, you know, he's looking at it like he from the street, and that's number one. The business is secondary because I'm going to get money because I don't have no one hustle. You know, so if this don't work out over here, I know how to put my pistol in the dude's face and get what he got on his wrist and his neck. If this don't work out over here, I know how to go get that pack, cut it up, package it up, and do what I got to do. If this don't work, you know, I know how to jiggle the locks on a car and go steal a car, but I'm going to get my money. That's the mentality Pooh Shiesty's in. He's capable of all of that. You know what I mean? Whatever presents itself at the time, that's what he goes for, because he also lives for the moment. Just like I said, Gucci man, as a businessman, lives for the moment to make the dollar to catapult into the future. But Pooh Shiesty's on the street living for the moment to get that next dollar as well. But he's willing to do anything to get it. But the businessman like Gucci, he's willing to do what's in bounds. And he want to handle it like that now, but you want to handle it like that with someone that's still on the street. You knew that. And I know when you met him, right? Y'all connected. And he connected thinking that y'all was one alike. You know, like we say, Jamaica 101. You know, like y'all see eye to eye. So that's why he had a discrepancy and he thought that he could just run up on you the same way you would run up on him in his mind. But he don't know you elevated past the running up with the Draco. So that's why he came at you in the manner that he came at you. You know, but you created that. You warranted that action by not letting him know that I'm not there no more. If somebody do something to me, I'm going to the police. And y'all put in the comments right now. Let me put it up there. Y'all put in the comments right now if you believe that Gucci man told Pooh Shiesty at any time, if anything happened, I'm going to the police. I'm telling. So Pooh Shiesty thinking if anything happened, he not telling. And just from him thinking that alone is where his reaction came that y'all call crashing out. He didn't crash out. He crashed out from a civilian point of view, yes. But from his world and his people, that's in the trenches for real, that's following Pooh Shiesty, because you got two different groups following both of these men. And that's what's crazy, is that they both coming together. They not understand. One is still Shiesty. All right? One is still Shiesty. And that's what the issue is. Do you understand the words that are coming out my mouth? You know, make sure you subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio, my man Real Boss TTTV. And I'm going to put my number up on the screen, because this ain't to disrespect nobody. If you feel that I'm saying something wrong, out of line, right, whatever, call me, we talk about it. I don't make videos dissing people, and this video is not to diss either one. It's just to teach the youth about both, so they can understand the mentality. Gucci Man elevated. Look at him. He don't even look street no more. Like a grown man. He got his grown man joint on. And look at Pooh Shiesty. Still got his mask on. And these two tried to do business. Gucci, you should have explained to Pooh Shiesty that, look, our lawyers talk, and then they bring us back the information. But obviously you tried to do business and talk, you know, business with him, and whatever numbers you gave him, in his mind, they was right at that time. And now he feel like they not right. But if you had the lawyer give him those numbers, you wouldn't be where you at right now, having to make this vital decision of what you're going to do at all, you know. But you should have taught them. And that's the problem. When y'all put people under your wing, the same way as when we on the street and we put people on our wing and they hustling for us or whatever, we teach them these basic necessities of what to do with a dollar. When you get a dollar, when you ride in a cab, don't have your hat on, don't wear your cap backwards in a cab, don't even wear your cap in a cab. You know what I mean? Sit up straight, you know what I mean? Look like a square, get pulled over, act like a square. You know, and that's the thing. I watch these videos. I see people get pulled over there like they're the toughest guys. You know what I mean? Come on. You're dealing with somebody that has all the power and you're playing tough. No, you surrender. That's when you surrender. They have guns drawn on you. You on the side of the road. You surrender. You play the goofiest goofy you could think. So goofy, everybody laugh at you and get on YouTube. You know? But you walk away with your life and without a charge. They just want to know and feel like they're in the power. But let's get back to this. Gucci Man and Keisha running a powerful business. I like the way, I think it was $1 million he left her behind when he goes to prison, you know, overweight, looking busted, you know, keeping him 100. And, you know, left her $1 million. He took the $1 million, turned it into 33 million, you know, held them down like a true queen. She gets a round of applause for that. All right. Come on, man, relax. See, that's what happened when you got a good woman talking to you while you're in prison. I had a good woman talking to me, and that's why I have a, you know, good outlook on life. And people say, man, you don't act like you've been down 26. No, I had an intelligent woman to help, you know, elevate me where I left off at as time continued to elevate. And that's what Gucci Man had. And Gucci Man also gets a round of applause because he listened to her. He trusted her. And he's still listening to her. But is he going to still trust her at this point if he want to give up his street cred by getting on the stand saying that's him? That's the one that was under the mask that's sitting right there, the second person to the left in the first row. I mean, I sat there while they did it to me. And another thing y'all got to think about is a whole lot of co-defendants. We don't know all their names. We don't even know their names. So we ain't even going to know when they start copping out and giving information. Because let me explain to you what a complaint is. A complaint is nothing more than a bunch of information that they heard that sounds like a crime and adds up to a crime. But they don't have enough for a crime. If they did, it would have went to a grand jury. It did not go to a grand jury. It's just a complaint. So it's just a bunch of noise. Now that they got them, They're going to talk to them one-on-one, scare the crap out of them, let them know how much time they're looking for kidnapping, let Big 30 know how much time he's looking for holding the door, that he's just as responsible for everything that happened within the door, including the Draco being pulled in Gucci Mane's alleged face. That's how real this is. But they didn't have enough for an indictment. It's just a complaint. So now we're going to see who's going to fill in the blanks on the complaint to give it enough body so that they can get an indictment on their comrades. But right now, if they all shut up, they all good. Because all it is, from what they're saying, is the statements from the victims. You understand? They got the bruise on them where he choked them out and all that. We know that. You know what I mean? But bottom line is the kidnapping charge would go away. Only way that kidnapping charge, gonna go is if, Gucci say he felt like he was trapped. If the people say, but they're gonna say that anyway. The people say that he was trapped. But will Gucci say it? Will Gucci cooperate and tell how he really felt when that Draco went in his face and he was sitting there thinking, is he nuts? I know Gucci was like, man, I know he didn't bring to talk to me. Where the hell that's come from? This is what Gucci thinking, because he's chilling out in his big house, in his big world. And Pooh Shiesty's still on the street, saying, I'm not going to let nobody take nothing from me, dog. And I've been on here long enough, man. Make sure you watch the next videos I got below right here. All right.
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Make a what? Make a 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 audio. We gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours, so we can give back to the
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.